can paralyze. Doubt can totally rob you of the future that you deserve, of the life that you've earned for yourself. Good evening and welcome to the Mindset Makeover Show. My name is Tope and I am on a mission to equip, empower, and inspire you to live your best life each day. On today's show, we're going to be discussing the concept of a fear and doubt mindset. Yeah. And on the set with me tonight are two regular people who have insight, knowledge, and experience to share on this topic. Do join me in welcoming Christiana Senibo. You're welcome, Christiana. Thanks for accepting my invitation.
Thank you, Tope. Great to be here.
Thank you. And Karen Ekeledo.
Thank you, Tope. Thank you for inviting me in today.
Thank you. Thank you for making time.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. And we are encouraging you to join this conversation via phone-in or Twitter or Facebook. Details will be on the screen shortly. So please do join in, okay? Now, let's get this show on the road. I'm going to start by giving us a definition of those two terms, fear and doubt. According to the English dictionary, that is, fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Fear is synonymous, apparently, to terror, to anxiety, and doubt is a feeling of uncertainty or lack of uncertainty or lack of conviction even, and is synonymous with hesitation, hesitancy, indecision. And when you take it a step further, when you now look at self-doubt, it's doubting your own abilities. It's lacking conviction that you're capable of doing something that you're probably able to do already if you would just allow yourself the opportunity to do so. So let's start with Christiana. What's your definition of fear?
Well, basically, you've really said it all. You've just hit the nail on the head from the dictionary definition. Fear is really that point where we don't want to take a step because we are at risk of feeling shame, pain, or we feel like we're going to experience harm. And as a result, we don't go forward. As a result, we don't take action, and we deliberate in our minds. That's really my definition of fear. Doubt is pretty much the same. It's just that lack of conviction. The feeling, again, that we're not going to succeed, we're not going to have what it takes to make progress or to achieve what we need to achieve.
Indeed, indeed. Thanks, Christiana. Kieran?
So, Tope, my definition of fear would be the emotion of anxiety that one feels when approaching a task or an experience in life. And it's almost the anticipation which people have on things that are in the future, and they picture the worst possible outcomes. And in that case, once fear has kicked in, this then enables doubt to grow and to fester, as you're then in a position where you've got supporting beliefs of why you shouldn't take action towards what you want to do. So I feel that I consider fear and doubt like first cousins.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah. Oh, and they have another cousin that we haven't mentioned, worry. Oh yeah. My goodness. Yeah. The three of them together can make a person not even want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Fear and doubt have a backpack of worry. You know, they carry a backpack called worry.
I like that.
It always comes along with the journey. Every time you experience fear, every time you doubt yourself, you're carrying that extra luggage of worry that, you know, you shouldn't be.
I like that illustration. Fantastic analogy. You're right, because there are so many. The scope for fear, being fearful is huge, isn't it? You fear failure in a relationship, failure at a job, failure at life in general, you know, and that could actually stop you from taking the action you need to take, because you just go into analysis paralysis. You know, you go, what if I do this? What if this happens? What if people laugh at me? What if I start and I fail? What if I do this? What if I go bungee jumping and I die? That's me. That's me. So yeah, but it's a valid emotion, isn't it?
Definitely. And I feel that fear is an emotion that once somebody enables it to fester and they give in to their fear, then now that gives them a topic of conversation, because now they can whine about why, oh, this didn't work, but the reason why I didn't take action is because of X, Y, and Z. And so now this sometimes I feel it's almost for that emotional connection with others, because then people, if somebody feels down, it's our natural ability to want to help them. Whereas someone who feels empowered, in that case, now that may give an opportunity for people to put them down, and in that case, that's when shame would creep in, because now other people are talking about maybe they're setting their expectations too high, and so then there's that disconnection with others. So I think sometimes they do it in fear to be able to create connection with other people's individuals.
Indeed, indeed.
And fear is a valid emotion, like you said, and there's nothing wrong with it. But we need to understand that a lot of times, to a large extent, the fear really is in our minds. Now, you could be justified, and because you're afraid because you've tried once and you don't want to try again because the last time was bad, and you feel justified to say, I actually gave it my all and it failed, and as a result you don't want to step out. So in that case, you're justified. But we need to understand that a lot of the times our fear and our doubt really lives in our minds and is based on perception of what people will think, how we're going to feel. Yes, sometimes it has to do with the fact that when you take that step you've always wanted to take and you fail, you're going to experience shame, and as a result, people don't want to experience shame. They don't want to experience pain, and because of that, they stay where they are, and in that sense, they feel justified for their fear. But we're going to talk a little more about this, about how getting over it. But yes, it is valid. But a lot of times, besides the reasons that we have, a lot of times our fear really lives in our minds.
Indeed, it's all in the mind. But then I do wonder about something. How much of the stuff we fear really does happen? How much of it really does manifest?
Very few. Very little time does the ideas that we have.
Hold that thought, Karen. We have a caller. Good evening. Who have we got on the line?
Good evening. You've got Tolu on the line.
Sorry? What's your name?
Hello, Tolu.
Tolu. Good evening, Tolu. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kent.
Hey, Tolu. Tolu is from Kent. Thank you for calling. So, what's your contribution, or have you got a question for us?
Yes. I just want to contribute. Fear, as I would like to term it, is actually false evidence appearing real. In your mind, you have, you feel these things are real, and sometimes.
Can you? Sorry, Tolu. Are you near the TV or a phone? Can you move away from the TV for a bit, please, to avoid the interference? Or have you got your phone? If you can just put your phone closer to your ear.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
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 Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Go on. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I was saying, fear is actually, I would like to call it false evidence appearing real. Yes.
In other words, it's not what we're experiencing. It's not a real situation. It's more in our minds.
Absolutely. Yeah, go on, Tolu.
Yes. I said, fear to me is false evidence appearing real. These things are actually not there. The things that are making us fearful in our minds, they're not real things.
You're right.
We give life to them in our minds, and they take a huge form in our hearts, and then we become really, really, really limited by them.
Yes.
Because we're thinking,
yes,
I can't do this. Because if I do this, this might happen. This might happen. But actually, those things are not there. Because if only we could take a bold step.
Yes.
And things, then we will know we'll conquer the fear.
Yes.
We only need to make a move. But if we give in to this fear in our hearts and, allow them really to take root, then it will take over fully.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tolu. That's exactly where we all agree on this set. And yeah, you're right. And we'll be summarizing at the end of the show anyway. We'll be giving some tips And you know what you've
Okay.
just suggested there is a fantastic tip. Indeed, it's not allowing it to take root. We need to watch it
Yes.
and catch it on time and deal with it, and then face it and not allow it to have any power. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I think Tommy's definitely right.
Yes.
Feel the fear, false evidence appearing real. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yes.
I think I believe people should definitely overcome that fear and take action.
Yeah, yeah, because most of it doesn't even materialize. So, and also it's about allowing or not allowing fear to dictate how you live your life, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And building on what we just said earlier, you know, about the fact that a lot of these things are in our minds. So for everybody who experiences fear, for each one of us, it's about identifying what is the fear. You know, part of the steps I talk about when you're experiencing fear is, first of all, call it out. You know, what is this fear? And that's okay. It's okay to understand why you're afraid. Because like I mentioned, some fear is real, it's genuine. You know, if you failed at something, you failed an exam, it's very, very possible that when you're thinking about retaking the exam again, you become afraid, you're cold, you're wondering, oh my goodness, I've got evidence to say that I didn't pass it the last time. What is the guarantee that I wouldn't do it? So that is fine, that is valid. But calling it out helps you to first begin to identify what's the root, what's the basis of this? Is it because of a past situation? Am I afraid because I made a mistake? Or am I afraid because people have told me it's not possible for me? Or am I afraid just because it's something I've never tried and I'm uncertain about it? What is it? Identify what that is. That's really the first basis. It's not about trying to cover it up. I'm not afraid because, listen, if a lion faces you, right, and he's chasing after you, you are going to be afraid. No matter how strong you think you're going to be
Absolutely.
afraid. But so
You could try and be bold and courageous and just
but
stand
it's
there
not going to work.
and
not
go,
at that
bring it
time.
on, lion.
So yeah, call it out. Find out, first of all, what is this fear? Why am I afraid? What's the basis?
Yeah.
That's the first step to identifying what
Indeed,
it is. Yeah.
indeed. Karen?
Definitely. I feel that fear is a topic which I see can be parallel to danger, because danger is real, and that may create the fear. However, fear is something that you need to analyze. Am I in fear because there's actual real danger to my health, or
Right.
to my career,
my
or
life?
my livelihood?
Yeah.
Or
I
am
can tell
feeling
you
this
there
fear?
is. I have a fear of roller coasters.
Okay, see, and that is that is a.
I
You're
love
afraid
my
you're gonna
life.
Stop
You
somewhere.
know,
I love my life too much. Thank you very much.
I'm sure in the UK the parks could not afford to have too many accidents, and I'm sure you are in safe hands.
Please, I don't want to be a statistic. Let me just enjoy this lifetime. Maybe if I come in the next life, I'll zip line my way through life.
I think what it might be as well is the idea of what you're actually getting out of doing the activity. So for, let's say,
Nothing.
a roller coaster, you're like, I'm sitting down, I'm paying money, I'm going to go on this to get frightened, and then I'm going to be back in the same spot. Whereas, let's say, driving on the motorway, there should be a lot more fear involved, because now you're in a vehicle where there's a lot more statistics of injuries, deaths.
Oh,
actual
hold that thought.
Really?
We have another caller. I'm enjoying that. I'm your case study. Good evening. Who have we got on the line?
Hello, good evening. My name is Funsha.
Sorry?
My name is Funsha, calling from Kent.
Hey, hello, Funshaw from Kent. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
so
I
what are
have a
you
question.
fearful of? Sorry?
What am I fearful of?
What do you think of fear?
I think my definition of fear is just as your guest speakers have defined it. But I have a question for Christiana.
Okay, go on.
Okay. She said the very first step to countering your fear is identifying what the fear is, or the reason for the fear.
I'm sorry, you're going to repeat that. I didn't quite hear it.
I said you said the very first thing to do with fear, or is identifying what the reason for the fear is, for the genuine fear. So let's say I've identified that I have a fear, and it's a genuine fear. What steps would you advise are the best way of countering the fear?
Okay, what I'm going to say, first of all, Funsho, thank you for that question. That's great. I didn't hear the full question, but here's what I got. The fact that you're afraid of something and what steps to take when it's a genuine fear, how to overcome it. So great. The first thing...
You said fear can be in any form. It could be real, and it might not be. It might be unreal.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, I've identified my fear, and it's a genuine fear. Maybe, for instance, I failed an exam, or so retaking the exam is the fear. Like, okay, because I failed it before, how am I so sure I'm likely to pass it again?
Yeah.
Once I put in the same efforts I've put in before. So what would you advise is the best way of dealing with this genuine fear? That is my question.
All right, that's fantastic. That's great. So first of all, you've called it out. You know what it is, right? I'm afraid because I failed my exam the first time, and I'm worried that if I take it again, I'm going to fail. And now that's very valid. Now, once you've called it out, you need to understand that it's okay to be afraid. You know, I'm very realistic, and I believe you should be with life. I believe that sometimes some situations really make us fear, but it's okay. It's okay to be afraid. Don't try to cover it up. Don't try to be like, you know what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to do this exam, and I'm going to go past it. That's not realistic. So it's okay to be afraid, and I need you to accept that I'm really afraid about this, and that's fine. So make it okay to be afraid. And then what you want to do next is lean in to the situation. So the fact that you are afraid should not stop you. So lean into that discomfort. That's the next step I also want you to do. I'm afraid about this. I've called it out, and it's okay, but I'm going to lean in. So even though we're afraid, it's not a reason not to continue. So I gave an example earlier.
Okay.
Sorry?
Okay, yeah, I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So I gave an example about, you know, you've got a lion in front of you, and, you know, you're really scared because this is a really scary situation. You've got two options. You can either stand there and go all shaky and afraid and let the lion attack you, or you can say, you know what, there's a lion there, and I'm so scared, but today I'm not going to die, and you're going to run. Right? So you're going to run, fear and all, but you're still going to run. Now, that's what you want to do with that situation. Like, I failed this exam. It's okay, but I'm going to do well. I'm going to pass this exam. So I'm afraid, and that's okay, but I'm going to write what I need to write. I'm going to study hard. I'm going to extra study because I'm going to make it this time. All right? And then the final step you want to do is take the next step to passing that exam. So again, being very practical, what do you need to do? You need to go and study. You need to study hard. So the next step for you, the next step could be enrolling for that exam again, calling your supervisor, calling a friend, finding out what classes are available, but then take the next step. So don't let it stop you. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's
Funsho?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's more, So even if the fear doesn't exist, I still just have to deal with it. That's it, basically.
Yeah.
And not give up on what I'm trying to achieve or what I'm working
and not
towards.
trying to cover it up. You know, sometimes we go, we're scared, we're afraid, we have doubt, and we think, you know what, I'm not going to doubt. You know, no, it's all in my mind, and I'm just going to move on. I don't believe that's practical, and I don't believe that that's helpful because you're just covering up something that it already lays at the background. You know, what you want to do is dig it up, address it, get to the root of it. And that's by accepting that you're afraid, making it okay because it's all part of our common humanity, and then going right ahead in spite of the fear, pushing through and taking the next step straight away.
Thank you. Thank you, Christiana.
Thank
Funsho,
you.
was that helpful?
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So go deal with that
Okay.
fear, nail it, and ditch it.
I will.
Okay, and come up
I
bold,
will.
courageous, and successful. All the best.
All
Have
right.
a good evening now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you were saying?
Okay, so we were just discussing the danger and fear,
Yeah.
and we were talking about the idea of on the roller coaster.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're back on the roller coaster.
We're back on the roller
And
coaster.
how to overcome that, really, because I feel with the roller coaster, for you it's against risk versus reward. So it's
Karen,
it's
reward.
where
Roller
is the
coaster.
reward?
What will be the reward?
Now, it depends. When you go to the fun fair, do you go with family and friends?
Yeah.
There we go.
They all get on the roller
They all
coaster.
go.
I hold their bags.
They hold your,
And I
you hold
take
their bags.
pictures.
And,
And I'm quite happy going
and
through
you're
life.
very good at it, I'm
being the
sure.
bag holder.
See, whereas now, imagine if at the end of the roller coaster, imagine they all come to you and they're going to give you a massive high five and they're going to celebrate, and then the whole evening and the whole day is on them for the next 4 weekends.
Oh, that's okay. It will
Now,
be my turn next
that
time.
would motivate you to think, actually, forget the fear, I want to go on that roller coaster. You know? And it's-
Oh, I can tell you now that that fear is one that I probably will die with, because I've already settled for myself. And the thing about fear is, if it's preventing you from living your best life, then you better deal with it.
and
So it's probably about getting that fear, getting perspective to say,
Exactly.
if the fear is something that is keeping you from what you like,
Exactly.
then you've got
Exactly.
to address it. So maybe you're not addressing your fear because you can't even be bothered about
I don't
all of
even
that.
like the
You
stuff.
don't even like it. So there's no point.
But there's no
to it.
point. But if it's something that because it's possible that I enjoy, as you said, that they come out and I'm thinking, oh, I wish I could get on. Some
So
people
now-
feel like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They need to address that fear, because if the thought of dying is stopping you, and people are coming off, as you said, they're getting off, and they're not. You can tell they're not dead. They've actually come down. They're exhilarated and all that. Then you need to address that. For me, they just go, you're silly. Honestly, let's go. That's what I think. Please
I
don't
would
bother to
say
tell me.
Next time you go to the a roller coaster, look and see. Pay attention to your breathing. So pay attention to how you're feeling just before you are, because in general, fear creeps in from the physiology that we have.
Yes.
So you may potentially start to get shorter breaths, and then you'll be
I'm getting it
twitching,
now.
your thoughts will be happening.
Just thinking about it.
Whereas if, let's say, you were to calm down, you were to take 3 big breaths just before, and to think of a happy time in your life and the time you really enjoyed.
While I'm on the roller coaster.
Just before, not all else, because once you're
Oh,
strapped
she's gonna
in,
freak
then
out
it's
when
going
she
to get you
gets on
ready.
it.
But
Yeah.
then, once you get off, you'll be like, I did it, do you know? Because a lot of times, when we feel that fear, when we're actually taking action, there is still going to be that fear, because we're not used to it. No longer in our comfort zone. But by doing that continuously, that's how you build up the muscle memory
True.
to see the roller coaster, take a few big breaths and go in. And it's very much the same in terms of exercise. A lot of times if you're training, you've got that fear of, will I beat my personal best?
Yes.
But then by doing it, you're in the pain, but if you keep on doing it time and time again, sooner or later you will improve and get more comfortable at doing it.
Yeah, you're right though. But it's about not doubting your ability to achieve your dream. So if you have a dream
Yes.
or passion for something, and self-doubt or fear or even worry is preventing you, then you really need to deal with it, because life is too short for us to go through life thinking, oh, I'd love to do that. Oh, Christiana's doing that. I'd love to do it. So my question would be, so why aren't you doing it?
I find sometimes it can be due to your peer group. So as they say,
Indeed.
your
The company you
product
hang
of
out
your
with. Yeah,
environment.
yeah.
And that's
absolutely.
that's an area I do cover in my book, in terms of in your environment. Then if you're with people who do not challenge you, who allow you, who accept your excuses and some of your BS, and excuse my language, in that situation, then it then allows you, and it justifies and validates your fear, and say, okay, then actually they understand me. Whereas if you would say, I don't want to go on a ride, and they're like, how, what do you mean you have to go on? Or they really say, but come on, we know you can do it, and they motivate you, and they encourage you, and they support you. Then
that thought.
We brought another call.
We have another caller. Who have we got on the line, please?
My name is Paul Coffey.
Hi, Paul.
Sorry, who's that?
Paul
Sorry,
Coffey.
Paul.
Yeah,
Paul Coffey from Middlesex.
Oh, from
Middlesex.
Middlesex. Oh, hi, Paul. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, what have you got for us?
I just need a bit of more information on some of the things you've been talking about.
Yeah, go on.
Um, somebody told me that fear is actually can be said to be forget everything and run. FEAR. Another person said to me that fear should be seen as face everything and rise. But I'm a bit concerned because I can't even distinguish between my fear, my paranoia, and the imminent dangers in front of me. I can't really say this is my paranoia that is working or my fear that is working or that I'm just facing danger. For example, the lady Christiana was talking about the lion. If there's a lion in front of me, I'm not sure if I'm not going to forget everything and run, and I'll be falling to the other category of people who were on. But if it's about my examination, like she's rightly put it, maybe I didn't study enough, then I'll go back and study more. But I don't know when I'm afraid and when I'm just being paranoid. And I've had a lot of things. Somebody actually said that 95% of the things that you're afraid of never happened. It might be true, so I need a bit of help on this issue. Please help me.
Sorry, Christiana. Do you wanna-
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I really struggle to hear most of the question.
So the analogy of the lion. So
Yeah.
the fear, as an acronym, forget everything and run, or forget everything and rise. Right, Paul? Are you still there?
Face everything and rise.
Oh, sorry, face
Face.
everything. Okay.
The first one says forget everything and run, which is the bad one. And the
Yeah.
good one says face everything and rise.
And
If
rise.
I was to face a lion, I'm not going to face anything and rise. I think I'm going to forget everything I've learned.
You're going to do the second one.
Yeah, the second one says face everything and rise. Now, I don't know whether, but that is one aspect. I just want to know whether the things I think about are not just my paranoia, because when it's about going on the roller coaster, I think I won't be afraid of my life because I will be thinking I don't want to die, and I'm not sure if I'm not going to suffer some stroke or heart attack on the coaster. So that will give me some kind of fear. But is that paranoia? Is it fear? Or is it imminent danger? So I need you to help me to put me right and know what to do when I'm in such situation, when I'm excited about something. For the examination, Christiana was right. I probably need to look at why I failed. Maybe I did not prepare enough, or maybe I did not sit to the right people. So I don't know. I don't want to live in fear, but I think I need a bit of help so that I can be a better person.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it depends on the circumstances, doesn't it? So, for example, the analogy about the real danger of facing a lion.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need anyone to tell you that you don't want to face that one, you want to run. But the illustration about exams, or for example, or maybe job interviews or something. So I know that a lot of us will have had experiences of attending several interviews before you get that job you're in. And of course, you didn't allow it to stop you. So I suppose it depends on how badly you want something. How strong is your why? How strong is your why? That thing that you want to accomplish, how strongly do you want to achieve it? Because if you do want to achieve it, if you have a strong enough why, the how will propel you to overcome your fear. So for the exam, if you do need that qualification, if it will improve your chances in your profession, in your career rather, then you know that falling down and getting up is what you need to do. You need to get up, you need to study harder, as Christiana said. But if it's another aspect, like the roller coaster one, for me personally, it's not even the danger, because I'm not even afraid of dying. It's the feeling I get. I get squeamish. So it's that feeling I get that it's just so, it's not nice. I ask myself, why do I need to feel that way? Some people get the other feeling. You know, my daughter tells me that, oh gosh, it's a fantastic feeling.
Exhilarating, yeah.
Yeah, that one's good, if that's what you get. I get the other one that really makes you feel crap, and I have settled for myself that life is too short for me to do something that makes me feel like crap inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't get that.
basically, Topper, I guess what we're saying, and Paul, the
Well,
concept
yeah.
we're talking about is the fear and the doubt that stops you from accomplishing something you
Yes.
love, something you want to do.
Yes.
Yes.
So don't worry about what you don't want to do. Don't even bother yourself about trying to do that and overcoming that fear. But we're talking about the fear and doubt that stops you from actually doing what you like,
Yes.
becoming who you want to
Absolutely.
become. You know, that's the kind of, and that's the context. And when we're looking at that, what stops us, a whole lot of other situations come into play. Why do we stop ourselves, you know? But Paul, thank you for that question, because I'm sure we're going to address it and
Yes.
look into it and
Yes,
explain
as
why.
the show progresses, yes, and at the end, of course, we're going to give some tips. So yeah, Paul, you're right. It's being able to determine when you want to forget everything and run, or face everything and rise.
Right.
And of course, what we're advocating here is that if it would help you to achieve your purpose, your life's
Yes.
purpose, your dream,
Then you want to address
then
it.
you want to address it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, is what we're advocating.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that's it. So does that help at all, Paul?
Yes, it does. I also want to find out if there's a way we can subscribe in case I'm in a situation so I can find somebody that I can call for support, please. If there's any way we can subscribe to your webpage or to
Oh, yeah.
anything that.
So the details are on the screen. So and also you can contact beneath the names of the guests are their websites. And to contact me, you can just go through www.mindsetmakeovermission.com. Did you get that? Mindsetmakeovermission.com.
I'm writing it down. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. But please do stay tuned, keep watching, because we're going to address some of that at the end when we give tips. And of course, we're here every Wednesday, you know, so we'd love to hear again from you, Paul. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
And you know, Tope, to add to or to help Paul with the question he asked, you know, about what to do and how to move forward. What people need to understand is the fact that fear and doubt, we experience these emotions because of the, should I say, the extra things that could happen if we don't succeed. So for example, and it could be in any area. So it could be you experiencing fear because you don't want to enter into that relationship or completely commit to that relationship when you would love to. But it's because people are afraid of feeling shame. They're afraid that if they fail, oh my goodness, what will people think? What's going to happen? You know, they're afraid of shame. They're afraid of being vulnerable. They don't want to open themselves up. What if I love completely and I get myself hurt?
Yes.
What if I give in completely and I don't get the same kind of love back, you know? So all of these conversations, you know, not wanting to experience shame, not wanting to experience pain, that's all of what's going on in our minds, and then that stops us. That ends up becoming our fear. And it's always down to, again, the first step I would always advocate is call it out.
Yeah.
What is it you're afraid of? I'm afraid that if I start this business, I'm going to fail. And if I fail, oh my God, Janet, Mom, Carrie, everybody's going to laugh at me. And because of that, I don't want to start. You know, so call out that way. I don't want to get into that relationship because I'm going to get my heart broken. And he may not reciprocate or she may not. And as a result, I better not even start, you know. So,
and then you deprive yourself of love, and life's too short to live like that. And just to give an example around that, a few years ago, I got this heavy feeling that I needed to write a book about my experience. My autobiography became anyway. And I became fearful about exposing, because I'm naturally private.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh my goodness, everyone's gonna know your business.
Yeah, the feeling of vulnerability.
Yes.
You don't want to be vulnerable.
Absolutely, just putting myself out there. I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it. You know, I thought, no, I'm not gonna do it. Why would I want to do that? What for? But then, as a Christian, you know, the call, you know, became stronger and stronger, and I could just hear God saying, it's not about you.
Yeah.
You know, the experience that we have, the painful experiences that we have, are typically not just for us. That pain, I come to believe now that it's gain to somebody else.
Definitely.
All right, yeah.
So I had to share my testimony in the form of a book. And then, of course, it became, oh, okay, so you write it. How are you going to get it out there?
Yeah.
So that was enough for me to not bother. Because what's the point? It just sits on your laptop and that's it. God said, no, you're going to do something about it. It won't let me go, it won't let me be. So I looked into publishing. Tried to find a publisher. They weren't interested because I struggled to write a short book. They obviously wanted a tome. They couldn't be bothered with my short book. I thought, that's the best I can do. God, just leave me alone. This is enough for me. No elaboration. Let's just get it out. Let me just do what you asked me to do the way I can.
Yeah.
So I did. And then, of course, I ended up having to publish it myself. I had to figure out how to publish, both printed and electronic. And so that's how I managed that fear. I faced it, as you said. I thought, I asked all the questions about what if people will know, everyone will know your business, and then what, all these years, you private person, and what are you going to do? And then the answer came back, you're not going to die, so they know, so what? Someone, somewhere, sometime is going to gain from it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to do it. And God kept saying, it's not about you. Get over yourself, Tokwe. Just get over yourself already. So I got over myself.
Yeah.
And I got out of my own way.
Yeah.
And I published it, and it's out there. So, and I was very fearful. My goodness. It wasn't so much doubt as much as the fear of exposing my life. And I had feedback from a couple of people saying, oh my goodness, she's brave. Yeah. I had to do it. God made me do it, okay? But I can say that as a Christian, because as a Christian, I try to starve my fear and feed my faith instead. I starve it. Take control away from it. As I said, call it out, deal with it, uproot it. Don't let it fester, because when it does, it settles and you become so comfortable in that place, and you accept that smaller life.
Yeah.
Because doubt has prevented you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, they always try to live to fit in when we actually all want to stand out. And I think that's something whereby, by overcoming your fear and doing what's out of the norm, then you're positioning yourself to be ridiculed or for people to mock you. But I think that's a part of life. All the great inventors, Jesus Christ himself.
Newton, right? How many times did he fail?
Over 10,000.
He didn't give up. If he had given up, I wouldn't have been able to see your tie, your beautiful suit. No light. So there you go.
And a friend of mine, Dean, what he says in terms of failure, he says fail is just the first attempts in learning. So
Indeed.
You just keep on failing and failing until you do achieve.
And as we were discussing before the show started, if you don't fail at something, or even if you're not fearful, it means you've set your standards too low.
Yeah.
And you need to be challenged anyway.
You're not adventurous enough. You're not trying enough. It's what we always have to remember, that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And it's the fact that all of the situations, whatever we feel in our mind and afraid of, the fact that, oh my goodness, if I don't succeed, it's going to be shame. If I let myself out there, people will laugh at me, or I'll get my heart broken and all of that stuff. All of that is preventing us from really living, because if we think about it, that we are stopping ourselves from advancing and going for those things we want because of fear, we're also blocking ourselves from actually experiencing love and joy.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you're playing cool and you're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to dare. I'm good in my position here. I'm not going to venture out because I don't want to experience shame. I don't want to experience rejection and all of that. But at the same time, by not wanting to experience those emotions, you're also stopping yourself from experiencing joy and bliss and growth and increase. So it's a two-sided thing. So not playing it safe does not quite work.
No.
The question you would need to be asking yourself is, what does this mean to me? What would I gain by not progressing, by not moving to the next step. What am I going to lose? What's the consequence? You need to define that, find out what it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because for someone who has earned a good life, but they cannot live it because of fear or self-doubt, that's not right. Life's too short to live like that. Life's too short. So let's begin to give tips.
Oh, great. We're
Go on.
at that point now.
We're at that point. I'll summarize at the end. You want to go first, Christiana? So now we're gonna give suggestions, because this show is about empowering you to live your best life each day. And as Christiana just alluded to a few moments ago, we need to get past any obstacles in the form of fear or self-doubt or worry or anxiety that are preventing us from living our best life each day. Because the next moment is not promised. All you have is this very moment in time. So whatever it is that you want to do, we want to encourage you to go out and do it. And we're going to give tips now on how to overcome whatever fears you have. Okay, so Christiana, do you want to go first?
Yeah, my very popular one, I would always start with the root cause. And I would say, like I said already, and I probably said 100 more times, call out your fear. Don't let it just stay in your mind and you're afraid of starting that business, you're afraid of getting into that relationship, or you're afraid of being that parent. Just because it's in your mind, you need to find out what it is. You need to call it out. Identify what the cause of the fear is, because yes, it could actually be valid. And you may have every reason to be afraid, and I agree with that. But you need to call it out. So understand the basis of it and name what it is. I'm afraid I'm going to be a bad parent, and as a result, I don't want to have children. That's okay. So call it out first. That will be my very first tip. Get to the bottom of it.
Indeed, because we understand it's very valid, and as you said, we need to identify what views, what beliefs we hold that is feeding that fear.
Absolutely,
Nail it. Once you identify it, you've kind of nailed it. Now you need to deal with it, as you said.
Yeah.
And you need to address it. What's the basis for the fear? Is it even founded?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You may find that it's so unreal that it's unlikely to happen. Even you yourself can already dispel with it. So yeah, thank you very much for that.
And I feel the next step after identifying and finding that what the fear is and calling it out, and you've so clearly said, Shana, I think the next key to do is really to find out why you must overcome this fear.
Yep.
So what it is that you need to do, what the result will be by feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Because it's important that you know that why you're doing what you're doing, why you're going through this pain which you're going to put yourself through to get to the end result. Because then that I see as almost the legs of belief. And by building strong foundations and strong legs of belief, that will then empower you to take action and move forth. And it will remove that feeling of doubt and then allow a feeling of self-belief to grow.
Indeed. You're right, because if you have a strong enough why, we've alluded to that a few times already, then you have a good enough reason to want to overcome the fear.
Definitely.
So your why, you need to find out what is it that you want to accomplish? Why do you feel the need to accomplish that? So if it's a business that you want to start, you have your reasons for wanting to start the business. So why do you want to do the business?
And the consequence of
not doing it,
Yes.
you need to factor that in.
Yeah.
If you didn't do the business, if you didn't get it started at all, let alone succeed at it, what could be the consequences? Maybe your lifestyle will be, I don't know, maybe you will be compromised. Maybe your income will be lower than you would have wanted. So that needs to be you need to have a strong enough why, and that will begin to help you to address the fear, the root cause of the fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? And of course, as we said before, it is okay to be afraid. Accept it. Accept that fear is part of humanity.
Yeah.
You'll have to be inhuman not to have any form of fear.
Absolutely,
Or
yeah.
maybe in denial, I should say.
Yeah.
So, accept it, and any negative thoughts that you think may be feeding the fear, trap them. Check your thought patterns. As Christiana mentioned earlier, we have a caller. Hello, who have we got on the line?
Hello?
Oh, hello, who have we got on the line?
Hi, my name is Shola King.
Hello, where are you calling from, Shola?
I'm from Leatherhead.
Hello, Shola from Leatherhead. So, what have you got for us?
I just want to chip in something. I realize I've seen a lot of things, and I realize that a lot of good people, intelligent people, people of good skill, people of good wisdom, they're so afraid to take the mantle of power everywhere in the world. And for that reason, we have people who don't know anything, but who are not afraid becoming the head of a lot of organizations, even in countries such as in Nigeria. All the intelligent people are afraid to put their good foot forward and try to make something out of their lives. They're afraid of what will happen to them. So we now have people who are not afraid but don't know nothing, becoming who is who, and therefore they cannot deliver anything. So I think I'm just trying to encourage all the good people out there, please don't be afraid.
Thank you.
Go out and reach.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's indeed very true, because there you go. So when I'm not stepping up to the plate to take up my position, someone else who is probably less capable, and that happens a lot in organizations. You watch skilled people, experienced people get bypassed, maybe because they're not confident enough, or they're not selling themselves enough, or they're not making themselves acknowledged, they're not stepping up, and then you'll find mediocres in that position, and they're running the organization to the ground, or even the country. It happens in a whole country. An entity takes up the position, and then good people, qualified people, they're not in the right positions because of fear and self-doubt. Whereas you're right, Shola, thank you very much for that contribution. It's very valid. Because the ones who haven't got it, they haven't got any problem with courage and boldness. They'll boldly put themselves forward. That's very valid. Thank you very much. I like that. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that's right.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Some of the people who are mediocre, they may be going in it for personal gain, and then they do the role. Whereas those people who want to do it for contribution, they let the fear to paralyze them, and then it's almost a disservice to the rest of mankind.
And then, of course, the people who are skilled enough to do a better job, they just stand around moaning. And then it's like, okay, so you can do better. How come the position became vacant for this mediocre to sit in there? And it's interesting, because you find mediocres ruling a whole nation. And everybody is an idiot. Okay, he's an idiot. How did he find his way?
Absolutely.
Boldness.
We just need to see fear and doubt as robbers that come to rob. You know, they come to rob us of our joy, of our happiness.
Absolutely.
They rob us of our potential, our future, and not just that. They also even rob the next generation, because when your kids, your family, they don't see you stepping up and taking that next step, you don't inspire confidence in them to do that. So if we look at it on the basis that it's not just stealing from us, you know, fear and doubt is not just stealing from us, but it's stealing from society as a whole.
Very true.
You know, maybe our education system would be a whole lot improved if somebody who knew what to do stepped up to the plate. Maybe we would have a change, you know, and so it's robbing us, not just for us, but even generations to come, and society as a whole.
That's a valid point, indeed. So that's an even stronger why.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's more than us.
Yes.
More than us.
Yes.
It's everybody.
Very much like your book. You know, it became more than you. It became more than about you. It became about the servants.
You're right.
Mankind.
And that's how we must approach it. So the next point, we got two more. The next tip is turning that fear into power. So, as we've mentioned several times already during this show, identify it, you know, take hold of it, you know, call it out, take control, and turn it into power. So, okay, so this is my fear. Why do I have this fear? Deal with it. And then the fear becomes helpless. It just becomes a non-entity, really, because previously, if you allow it to fester, it then becomes very powerful. Robs, as you said, robs you, robs people around you, people who could be benefiting from you, from your story,
Absolutely, yeah.
from your skills, and you've just given it that power. But when you call it out and you deal with it, you turn that fear into power on your side to go out and achieve your dreams. You know, take action.
Yeah, I feel that, you know, you've definitely hit the nail on the head there. You know, in terms of how to turn fear into power is, instead of thinking, what if I do? Think of, what if I don't? And, you know, if you can use that energy to wake you up in
Yes.
the morning, think,
Yeah.
Yes.
what if I don't take action?
Yeah.
What
Yes.
could be the consequences
Yes.
of that?
Yeah,
And then you use
Yes.
that to motivate you into
Indeed.
turn that fear into power. That's it.
Indeed.
Yeah. And just to remember that it's okay to be afraid and to do it nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, people think before they need to take that action, they've got to totally read fear. No, you don't have to. You can still be afraid, but don't let that fear stop you.
Yeah.
Move in spite of the fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the last point. Fantastic. Start where you are and with
Oh,
what
yeah.
you have. Just do
Absolutely,
it.
Yeah.
You know, some people wait for the perfect opportunity. They wait for the bank balance to reach a particular level before they step out. Some people are just waiting for someone to come and knock on the door and give them the capital, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't wait any longer. Just get up and
Start
do it.
from where you are.
Start from where you are with what you have.
got, yeah.
And just do it. Just take action. And when I was having a conversation with you yesterday, Karen, you also mentioned something. Take a deep breath and just do it. Count to 5 if you must. Just
Yeah.
do it. Whether you're going to decide to do it or not do it, take a decision, make a decision. You know, but we advise you, we encourage you, you know, to do what you feel is right for you to achieve your destiny. Because if you stop yourself in your tracks, if you get in your own way, you will only be preventing yourself. So on the screen is a summary of the 5 tips that we're going to leave you with tonight, because our vision is to empower you to live your best life each day. So don't let fear rob you. It's a robber.
Yeah.
Don't let self-doubt paralyze you into inaction. Deal with it, as we said. Call it out, nail it, deal with
Yeah.
it, do whatever you have. Kick it out of your way. If you see obstacles, if someone else thinks they're obstacles, actually,
Yeah.
see them as stepping stones is what I advise. Just step over them. And if you fall over, so what? Get up, dust yourself up, and keep going, because you will achieve it. If your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it already.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So do you want to add
Yeah, I
something?
mean, I'm just going to leave everyone with this saying. Darren Hardy, who is a publisher of Success, he was saying this. He said he interviews, you know, the big players and successful people. And he was saying that successful people, the very successful, I mean, the uber successful people and the unsuccessful people, they have one thing in common. Both of them, neither of them like to do what it takes to be successful. But the successful people do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nobody wants to wake up at 5 a.m. and do the jogging and all that. But what makes them successful is the fact that they do it anyway. And that's just what I want to leave with you, to say, go ahead, take that step and just get started. It will hurt, but you're stretching yourself. And when you stretch yourself, that is where growth and happiness and success lies.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. Final word from you, Karen?
And so I would like to leave you with a final word, and that is that life is a sequence of feelings and emotions, and you choose what you make of them. Now, we've clearly acknowledged that fear is real, and fear can inhibit you from doing what you want to, or it can enable you to live your true self. So I want you today to make a decision that you're going to make sure that you use that fear, and you're going to make it to propel you towards success. Because you are going to fail on the way, but it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. So thank you very much, Christiana, Karen. Thank
you very
you
much.
for
Thank
accepting
you.
my invitation. I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
Definitely, it's been
absolutely.
amazing.
And maybe you're going to have to take me to Alton Towers one
Oh,
day.
we
I'd
will.
like to
We
see
will.
you try.
We'll have a good time there.
Thank you very much. So thank you. Thank you very much for watching us, for staying with us. And so we leave you with those tips, and we encourage you to do what it takes to achieve your destiny, okay? So see you same time next week at 8 p.m. And in the meantime, be encouraged to live your best life each day. Thank you.